It's part of the divine plan for man to find his place on earth. This may be through his passions, job, or calling in life. We all have a place that only we can fill. But this doesn't come into completion if we haven't seen the idea first. The 9th chapter helps us understand how we can see the divine design of our life. It can be done by first declaring the words, "Infinite Spirit, open the way for the divine design of my life to manifest. Let the genius within me now be released. Let me see clearly the perfect plan." The perfect plan also goes after the square of life: health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. But how do we know if that's our perfect self-expression? Here are some of the things we should always keep in mind. Number 1, perfect self-expression will never be labor. You'll know that it's destiny working when the things you do don't feel like forced work. This also extends to the supply needed to achieve that self-expression. Since God is man's supply, His plans for us are also backed with His own provisions. It will feel as if the roads always lead you to where you're supposed to be. Number 2, there will be definite leads. When the universe sets you up on something, expect that the mental pictures you have of this goal aren't forced too. You'll be surprised how often you'll receive flashes of inspiration leading to this perfect self-expression. When giving such leads or visions, one must hold it dearly and see for himself how success unfolds. Number 3, you are fully equipped to take on new adventures even without prior experience. When we start asking for a perfect self-expression, changes and shifts can happen in our lives. This can be through the form of change in career paths or track in life. Many people get startled during this uncertain time, but be assured that the divine plan causes you to be prepared even with little to no training. Hence, we should be fearless in claiming these opportunities and hunches. All we have to do is make the statement, "I am fully equipped for the divine plan of my life." By knowing these, we must apply the principle of letting God take control of our lives. This goes the same for parents or guardians. We must never dictate or force dreams or professions for our children. Instead, we should apply the treatment. Let the God in this child have perfect expression. Let the divine design of his mind, body, and affairs be made manifest throughout his life, throughout eternity. This goes after what the Bible has always taught us: let God's will be done. But doing so isn't always easy, since these 5 factors are present and can possibly affect us. Number 1, fear standing between man and his perfect expression. We've seen how many highly potential people have been discouraged and stopped by their fear. This can be in the form of stage fright, fear of failure, etc. But this can be solved by the power of our words. When fear is removed, self-consciousness has no place, leaving the person from feeling that he is a channel for infinite intelligence to express itself through. Number 2, getting too complacent. When we face uncertainty, it's easier for us to lean into God and ask for protection and guidance at all times. Unfortunately, when things go well for a while, we sometimes fall short and feel like God is no longer necessary. This is where we can be led astray from the divine plan. We must get into the habit of acknowledging God's presence and power every minute. Number 3, resistance. A student in this chapter keeps back his demonstration through resistance, or pointing the way. He pins his faith to one channel only and dictates just the way he desires the manifestation to come, which brings things to a standstill. Number 4, belief in incompletion. A perfect example of this was the student who needed financial demonstration but didn't get any. From there, they found out that she was stuck in the habit of leaving things unfinished. This must have impressed the subconscious that even her manifestations are not completing itself. After learning this, she went home and finished the task she had left for too long. Immediately after that, provision came in, complete. Number 5, you are a cheerful giver but a bad receiver. As much as we are willing to give, we must also be ready and happy to receive. In this game of life, there's always a balance between the two. If giving goes after the spiritual laws, refusing something given to you also violates the law. Always remember that all gifts come from God. Lastly, this chapter explores the answer as to why some people are born poor while others are rich. This question is answered through the law of reincarnation. We go through deaths and births and are only set free once we know the truth. However, birth and death are man-made laws. The real and spiritual man is birthless and deathless. The truth sets man free from the law of karma, sin, and death. Moreover, it leads man to exist according to God's image and likeness. Man's freedom comes through fulfilling his destiny, bringing into manifestation the divine design of his life. That ends the 9th chapter of the game of life and how to play it. Always remember that when man asks, believing, he must receive, for God creates his own channels. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can leave them in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can get notified when we post new videos. Till next time, thank you for watching.